Dear Kess, hope you're not dead. Asser says it would take more than just being paralyzed and repeatedly stabbed by a trained assassin to kill you, so I'm going to assume that you're on the mend and just itching to hear about our adventures. Turns out that assassin had disguise kit on him, which was really cool, and a bunch of drawings of each of us, which is how he found us, and I'm only just now realizing that means that there was some stranger following us around, just drawing us like a creep? Anyway, we chartered a boat. Rez was still alive, but so I had to do it. Just a crowd of adults standing around watching an 11-year-old negotiate contracts for them. But it all worked out. Everyone on the Spice Merchant, that's the name of the ship, the Spice Merchant, they all seem really cool. They're weirdos, but that's okay, I guess. The adult son kind of has this just mysterious past thing going on, but no one's tried to kill us yet, so I think we're doing pretty good. Unless you count the frog, but I don't think we can really blame them for the frog. I'll get to the frog later. But before that, Rez got better, and when he was up on his feet again, he asked us where we're going. So I told him the last place that my dad was spotted was Haven, and he went ash white. Turns out Rez's parents run Haven, which would be great, right? Except turns out Rez's dad is a complete dick. So I had a great idea. I offered him that disguise kit, and he turned it down. He turned down a giant handlebar mustache. Kess, I will never understand adults. But finally, that brings me to the frog. About a day or so later, we're sailing, and we come into this really deep, weird, thick fog. And all of a sudden, the ship is just buffeted by these giant lily pads. The captain gets all spooked and tells everybody really quiet, but someone, I don't remember who, it doesn't really matter, I think it was David, makes a really loud noise, and then we get attacked by this giant magic monster frog thing about the size of 3 pushkas. It was nuts! A giant water tongue was pulling people off the boat, everyone was shooting it and punching it and chopping at it. I think Derek shot a giant crossbow at it, and it turns out we're pretty good at killing stuff. Anyway, wish you were here, Kess. Something tells me you would have really enjoyed beating the snot out of a giant frog. All my best, Winthrop. P.S. When you're back on your feet, please go bother my grandfather, but don't go in the workshop. It's got tons of booby traps. I don't care what the steward says, he never finds all of them.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Children of Ash, a real play RPG podcast where we tell stories about the world after the world. I'm Dylan, your storyteller and game master for the evening, and surrounding us is our table of players. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Before we get started, once again, wants to thank our creative partners, want to thank Nations and Cannons for providing us with the lovely origins, which are what we've been using to replace races since everybody is human at heart. What was that? Anybody else hear that? It's like a
Oh, yeah,
dong.
I heard it.
Yeah, it wasn't him though.
All right. Well, that's on the podcast now. Yeah. Wow, that has totally thrown me through a loop. Would also like to thank the Wild Court. Ned from the Wild Court and I went back a couple times before last session on that spirit frog. I anticipate by the time you're hearing this, I will probably have posted that to to all of our Patreon subscribers, so you can get that. And I will continue doing stuff like that for subscriber content. I give you all a nice little something for giving us a tip. I guess with that out of the way, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
My name is Jesse. I play Wayland. He is your everyday, average boy genius adventuring 11-year-old. Wayland would beg, borrow, or steal if he could find out more about what Pushka actually was in the ancient history.
Hi everyone, I'm Josh. I play Derek Henridge, a bookish scholar who frequently is more curious than he probably should be. And Derek is generally pretty law-abiding, but if he saw someone abusing a book, he would be probably inclined to steal it and give it a better home.
Don't tempt me. All right. Juliet.
Hi, I'm Juliet. I play Aster. Aster is a light-hearted, fun-loving cleric who joined a religious movement for the vibes and is now undergoing a very confusing spiritual awakening.
That makes it sound almost like Aster is just going through puberty or something.
That is not spiritual.
Yeah, but it's definitely a very confusing awakening though.
It's a mediocre musical production.
All right. Peter.
Wait a minute. Juliet didn't answer the question.
Oh. Juliet. Why don't we answer the question?
I forgot the question. The answer to the question, I would say, is at this point in their life, Esther would probably bend their moral principles if they could get some clear information about what exactly is going on in their dreams. But I can't say I know how far they'd be willing to go.
Fun times.
Hi, I'm Peter. I play David Davidson, a big hulking Viking from the north. He has a pretty good sense of honor, but most nothing except betrayal from a dear family member, like let's say his brother, would probably push him over the edge and allow him to kind of go beyond his honor boundaries.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Valentine. I play Rez. Rez is a impulsively curious, lively-eyed, roguish fellow in his very early 20s. And Rez grew up with the Nyoka and has a deep and abiding love and affection for them, and doing anything to cross them or do them wrong would really turn his stomach. But he's met some despicable people in the last week, and if it ever came down to doing wrong by the Nyoka and letting some of these rat bastards get away with it, he might cross that line, but he wouldn't love it. Rez has never been vindictive before. Rez is dipping his toe into vindictiveness.
I think my favorite part about this character fact prompt of the week is that you all are just giving me lots of fodder.
Oh, I hate that. I hate you. What the hell?
Some of which I had already been considering because I kind of was like, I think this might be fun. But, you know.
You rat bastard.
Basically, you're saying we're going to get off the ship and there's going to be a book burning right in front of Derek.
Oh my god.
Oh, I was thinking like David's brother would come back just breaking the spines of books that all of the books also carrying the answers to ancient secrets about Pushka and maybe giving some facts for Juliet, and then he'd be throwing them at the Nyoka. Just
Oh yeah.
David's brother is now the big bad.
It's
All right,
nice to see.
it's all lies from now on out. Like I am taking Rez's propensity for a dissemblance. I'm internalizing that as a player. I am going to lie to you constantly. Congratulations, I'm method acting now. You did this to yourself.
All right. Well, I think to give one for the world, I'm not going to give the one about me, about what would cause me to break my own moral code and go on a murdering spree. But I think that Aster's parents, the Morestes family, they would probably break their moral code if it came down to a matter of propriety. There's probably a level of social graces that they value a little bit more than their own morality, but that only goes so far. So I think really what would cause them to uh, flip, I guess, would be really the best way of thinking about it. Not just breaking their code, but wantonly breaking it, would be in defense of the family, first and foremost. But secondly, if not just in defense of the family's like well-being, but also the family's position, the family's honor, the family's social status. Very, very important to them. Does that sound about what you would expect, Juliet?
I can imagine that being true, although I don't know to what degree. Like, I don't know exactly how far. I would think that like they might do like somewhat shady shit in order to protect their reputations, but nothing truly heinous.
Yeah. I see it as less of they would be doing something heinous and more they would be doing some things that maybe out of context would seem heinous. So like murdering an intruder kind of a thing. Anyway, I guess let us begin. Drifting as you were down the river through this uncanny wood, the fog wraps around the boat, around you like a very thick blanket, keeps you from seeing very much. The frog that you fought off, having fallen off the boat after being pummeled, not sure whether it's alive or dead. You hear splashes behind you, time to time, bits of odd plant life that you spot through the fog as the mists clear. Giant trees, more enormous lily pads, cattails that rise not 5-6 feet tall, but 15-20. Strange land. After a bit, the fog breaks, sun comes back, world is as though it never happened. Following day, on June 6th, you arrive town of Pine Meadow. Shifra directs everyone to bring the boat into harbor. Her daughter, Farah, and her husband, Kyrie, help Shifra unload a good number of the crates that are down and they hold the rest of you. They replace it with a few others, stock on some supplies. There's a little bit of time spent as they patch up that back corner, which was of the boat, which was damaged in the fight. And unless some of you want to do anything else, they push back off. Pushing off from Pine Meadow, everything changes. No longer can you sit comfortably lounging in the hold or pacing on the deck. For now, you're put to work. The boat turns and begins to pull its way up a tributary, the oars creaking rhythmically throughout the day. You all take turns. There are, after all, more people than there are oars, but not very many, so it is hard work. When you sit down for meals, your appetite is well and ready for them. And you make your way slowly, but confidently upriver. You're a little bit behind schedule from the Uncanny Woods and the Spirit Frog, the extra time spent repairing. But on June 11th, Rez, you begin to see a familiar sight pulling in front. There's a wall, another one of those arcane walls pulls into view. It's a bit of a shimmering curtain that breaks partially over the river. And beyond it is a walled village. A wall of pine logs that encircle this village. Or at least part of it. Beyond the wall, you see a number of remnants. They look like houses that have been there for God knows how long, unlived in. There are bits of foundation in some places, roofs caved in. It's a ghost town of sorts outside the wall, rather. And as you pull up, there are a few guard posts, little towers, just platforms for people to stand in. As you approach, you can hear a horn. You see some movement on top of one. And the boat pulls around the wall that kind of juts out into the river a bit and start to angle your way into a internal harbor, a ring of still water within this larger town. There are 2 other barges in there and a number of smaller boats. Beyond it, on the shore, there's a thriving, bustling market square, for lack of a better term. A 2-story building in a U pattern wraps around it, facing out towards the water, towards the harbor. Number of buildings beyond that, just little scattered houses, look very, very much like the houses that you saw outside of the wall, but in fresh condition, repaired, lived in, alive. Somewhere beyond there are two or three columns of smoke rising up into the air. Some unknown source, but nobody seems particularly concerned about it. Is there anything that anybody would like to do as you pull in, or would like to have done on the ride so far?
The only thing that Willin had been planning to do was to reinforce their treasure chest, but that's not a big deal. We can talk about that if there's...
We can talk about it now. It doesn't have to be a long talk.
No, that he wanted to use his tools to properly reinforce it so this thing isn't going to get fall off or get bashed or anything like that. So in the downtime that Wayland had, he would have been finding scraps and using his basic engineering know-how to just shore up the thing so that it ain't gonna open up to anybody who isn't Wayland, and it's safely secure in what that cavity of a arm socket that is pushed against torso.
I assume you're proficient in Artificer's tools.
Yep.
Give me a roll with proficiency with your proficiency, so we can get a sense of how well you do this.
Okay. To deal with my proficiency, what am I looking at my stats? That's
I believe since you leveled up, your proficiency bonus has gone from 2 to 3.
Oh, 3. Yeah, right. There it is. All right. Let me get back to 3 and so that'd be a 13.
All right. Well, with the 13, you plug away at it. It's definitely a little bit more reinforced. You feel confident, but of course, time will tell. If anybody makes an attempt at it, we'll see just how successfully you have reinforced it. Was there anything else anybody wants to do?
Yeah, David wanted to fish, and then dry said fish to make fish jerky, so he could have enough long-lasting food to for whatever may come.
All right. I'm not going to make you roll anything for that.
I mean, as a northerner,
Given the amount of time you've spent, I feel like you have the experience and you had the time. So
Weirdly, though, no fish. You just pull up a lot of really big frogs. Tasty looking, though. Frog jerky.
yeah, how is your French cuisine? Gotta get them frog legs.
yeah.
If Rez sees Jesse reinforcing that chest at some point when he knows Jesse can see him but is maybe rowing, Rez attempts to pick the lock. Right in front of him.
Yeah. Wayland would just be curious, like, I want to see if he can pick that. Like, that would be a good test of whether it was a good lock or not.
All right. Why don't you give me a roll, just for shits and giggles?
Yeah. Oh.
No. No. Not with that roll. For the audience, he rolled a 3.
Yeah.
Wayland feels smugly satisfied and goes back to rowing.
I mean, I do have thieves' tools, and I do have probably not with a 3.
Yeah, I was going to say, even with proficiency in thieves' tools, unless, actually, I guess you have expertise. I don't know if you would have applied that.
No, I did not.
Okay. Even that, I think expertise is double your proficiency, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been a total of 9, which,
plus 4 from Dex. I mean, look.
Okay, fair enough. But, I think it's funnier.
Yeah.
It's
funnier if I lose. Hey, Rez goes up, kind of looks him straight in the eyes, goes over to it, takes out his tools, never breaks eye contact with Wayland. Gets increasingly frustrated. Approving nod. All right.
There's just a little bit of like one of your tools, not an important one, but one of them just kind of like snapped, and part of the eye contact is you just like trying to pull it out of the lock without Wayland noticing. All right. As you pull in, Shifra catches a line from the dock, pulls the boat such that it sits flush with the pier. There are a few folks sitting there waiting to see who is about to get off of this boat.
Rez become, could say, increasingly antsy, but also making a real obvious effort to contain that. So it's only visible in, the jiggling of a leg. More frequent exhalations, mostly trying to keep us cool.
Wayland is going to sidle up next to Rez, look straight ahead, now making eye contact with Rez, reaches into his pocket, pulls out the handlebar mustache, and tries to pass it to him. Last chance.
Rez takes it.
Good man.
Are you going to apply it? Because we're going to need to make a disguise check if so.
No, that's it's for later.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a special tool that will help us later.
Okay. So, the interesting thing that you note, Rez, is that the people who are there to meet you at the docks, you don't recognize. And you're used to recognizing everyone here.
Yeah.
What do you do? You're still anonymous, as far as you can tell.
Yeah. I look at the others as the boat pulls out. Weird. I know everyone in this town. I don't know those guys.
Are they in New York?
Nyoka? No. If anything, actually, they vaguely look arches. A little bit of the common fashion. Not so much among university arch and that community, but off of the arches, on the shore.
All right, they got those arch Yeezys. that Only they have, right? Okay.
It's a little bit of the way that they style their hair, the way that they wear a cape partially across one shoulder and not across the other. Just small little details like that feel oddly familiar.
Do Derek or I recognize either of them?
Aster, you don't recognize anyone here. Derek, you do actually recognize one of the men sitting a little bit further back. You just see there's maybe four men here, and one of them standing further back behind them all, arms crossed, just watching as these other younger men engage. This is Ciro. He's a bit of a bigger guy, heavy set, scar across his jaw, but he's looking, let's just say he's wearing clothes that are a little bit nicer than what you're used to. And simultaneously looking quite proud of them and like they don't really fit.
Rez looks around them and says, "People, do they look arches to you? How far away are they, Dylan?"
They're waiting for you on the docks. They know the boat is coming in. They're clearly expecting someone to get off, and they're going to have a conversation.
All right. Rez says to everybody, "I think something might be fucked. Don't mention my name. Call me Ren. W-R-E-N. That's my name down here, all right? Can you remember that? I'll be right back." Rez goes below deck, and Rez is going to begin adjusting his characteristic jewelry, messing around with his wrappings. He takes the various beads out of his hair to make himself a little bit less recognizable, although he hasn't been home much since he started wearing them. And as he adjusts, I don't know if anyone's below decks to see this, but as he adjusts his wrappings, his features start to change. Not his overall height, not his build, but his facial features and the color of his hair come. You wouldn't think that there was a stranger amongst you. It's still going to be Rez's same clothing, but it's not going to be recognizable as Rez casts disguise self.
All right. Derek, was it you that was trying to jump in there?
Yes. Upon seeing the group waiting at the docks, Derek got very nervous and ran down under back below decks with Rez. Ren, I don't know if this is all about you.
Go on.
I recognize one of those men.
Where? Arches?
Back from Arches, we've had some encounters in the past.
Go on.
Rez,
Seeming a little bit relieved this isn't about him. It's unusual to see people from Arches down here. We almost never did. My father did not like them.
the one in the ill-fitting finery is a man named Ciro Volix. And I'd hoped to never see him again.
What'd you do? You bed down with his mom? What's the issue here?
Nothing quite so crass, no. Well, he thinks I owe him some favors.
Mm-hmm. Do you?
I should say not.
But he thinks you do, and that's the problem.
Yes.
What kind of favors?
Eloquently stated, yes. He's wanted me to acquire some things for him, and I have not done so.
A patron, then.
Of a sort, I suppose, or at least he styles himself such.
The kind of person who will enforce his rule through force or through getting you kicked out of the university. What kind of danger is this?
Well, he has, so far as I know, no formal ties to the university.
I see.
We crossed paths at an earlier point in my life, before I'd left Arches for Kelfall, and well, he's tried holding things over me for quite a few years.
So this has nothing to do with the dean you killed?
No.
Or that guy on your belt?
No, I haven't seen him since, it's been a few years now.
Well, is he gonna recognize you? Are we gonna need to fight him?
Yes,
I pull out the mustache. I don't need this.
I'm willing to try anything to avoid so much as talking to him again.
Look, if you want to stay on the boat, you can. Guards usually... No, I don't know if that's true. The guards that usually are here, they wouldn't come aboard and yoke a boat uninvited. I don't know about these guys. They shouldn't be stationed here at all. I don't know what they'll do. But you can either hide, or you can try and talk your way through, or if you think you can be sneaky, I can be a distraction.
Clearly, if they've come here from Arches, they suspect at least that I am both.
You think they're here looking for you? This isn't a coincidence? They're after you?
I don't know why else they would.
Oh, Skith.
But I'm inclined to try to make a run for it and not subject you all to what he may want.
Look, unless they know the man who runs this town, unless they know my father, they probably wouldn't try anything here. They are outnumbered, and there's nothing goes on here that he doesn't know about. You have connections down here? Are they that sort?
I wouldn't know.
Oh boy.
It pains me to say it, but they were connected enough to know that I was on this boat and making this trip. Then, well, I suppose I'll have to face them sooner or later.
I suppose you will.
And I'd rather do it among friends.
You know, if it makes you feel any better, I think Pushka could take them all.
I would not mind seeing that.
Back above decks, Wayland, David, Aster, you see first Rez disappear below decks, followed by Derek. They're stuck down there for a little while. Meanwhile, the boat gets tied up and Shifra begins pulling aside the gangway, beginning to prepare to unload. Walks down and greets the men.
Wayland definitely tries to get close enough to hear what's going on.
I suppose you're the ones here to greet the shipment? One of the men, not Cyril, but one of the others. They've got little capes pinned to one side. It's a warm, sunny day, squinting a bit in the sun. They've all got dark, tousled hair, bit of a mess. Anyway, one of them kind of steps up and acknowledges her. And, do you have a manifest? Do you have a list of all everything that you've come here to sell? Yeah, I do. Pulls out a logbook out of her jacket and leafs through it a little bit. Finds a page, hands it over. I have just a bit of a back and forth like this. Is there anything in particular you're listening for?
Interested in if they're looking for anything in particular, or if they're looking for something in particular, but more Wayland is trying to just look at them, judge them, try to figure out what he can tell from them. The cape over their shoulder makes him think that they're, or makes me think that they're kind of rakish in look. You know, kind of like roguish musketeers from the way you described it.
Yes, a little bit. It's an interesting one though. Give me an insight check. Let's see.
Let me double check. Insight, I think it's the same as insight.
Wisdom.
Yeah. That's 3. Let me get back here. God, that'll be a 6. I can tell they have limbs.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's definitely a bit of a rakish look to them. Really, about the only thing that you can get is that there's a little bit of a little bit of a memory that gets stirred of being a younger kid before you were, a master craftsman.
Yeah.
Before you were grown up at age 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Back when you were just a kid hanging out with other kids on the street. There were certain other kids that would almost dress up to be older than they were. You get a little bit of a sense of that.
Okay.
These aren't kids though. These are probably about late teens, early 20s, more
That's
late
old,
teens.
Yeah.
But
Old men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say twice your age, but not quite.
Yeah.
Other than that one. Zero.
Okay. So Wayland gets a sense of bravado, but dangerous bravado from them, and just kind of like checks how far away Pushka is, and takes a step back.
Yeah. Is Pushka cloaked, by the way?
He's absolutely wearing his poncho.
Okay.
Yeah. You can only have those anime moments where you take it off dramatically if you're wearing it 90% of the time.
Okay, yeah. Aster, David, is there anything you two are doing?
I mean, I'm just keeping an eye on these fellas on the dock, because
All right.
clearly, people are scurrying around me, but I don't know why. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on potential threat.
All right. There is a point where Shifra does gesture behind her, and a couple of them of the men turn and take a look at you, and they linger on Pushka for a bit. Generally the rest, but 2 of you are the ones that they seem to focus on for a moment. Beep,
The 2 being,
Exactly.
yeah, it's Brooklyn.
Yeah, which one of us were you two?
Oh, David and Pushka.
Oh,
Okay.
definitely. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I get that a lot. Big. I'm not phased.
Are two big boys.
Yeah, they should be looking at me.
Derek, Rez, what are you two doing?
Rez comes back out of the hold, and what you all see emerge is somebody wearing Rez's clothing, but who now looks unambiguously like a full-blooded nyoka, with the long curly hair let down, and many of Rez's features could be a sibling, but a lot of Rez's features just much more pronounced, and makes his way around the boat, finds the other people who've been so kind as to take us down here, and shouts a few things to them in Botong that you all can't understand. You might be able to pick out the name Ren. He seems very light and jovial. And after doing that, kind of skips down the gangplank lightly to stand next to, pardon me, what was her name?
Shifra?
And after that, skips down the gangplank lightly to stand next to Shifra. And, cracks his knuckles and like, all right, where are we unloading to?
I think Astra will follow, trying to look confident and casual, like nothing weird is happening.
All right.
Derek has done some deep centering breathing and then begins to make the trek out to the deck, standing tall and straight and trying to project an air of confidence with his sword conspicuously belted so that it's clearly there and readily accessible, with one hand just resting on the hilt as he attempts to swagger to the bow of the ship.
Rez will go up to the... What is Rez overhear from the conversation when he gets down to the place that Chefan is meeting with the men?
You hear discussions of, well, actually, you know what? Give me a stealth roll to see how well they, at disadvantage, to see how well they notice you approaching.
I'm
That
not being
may change
particularly...
things.
I'm not being particularly stealthy, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
coming down fairly boldly, like I belong there.
Okay.
And
Well then.
I'm. They see me speaking Botong. They probably think I'm one of the crew.
Okay. Give me a insight check.
15.
15.
Does
right.
this count? Wait, sorry. Let me ask a question. I have +5 on social situations. Does this count as a social situation for the
Yeah.
purposes of insight? Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
So
15.
it'd be 20. Oh, so
No,
okay.
15.
So 15.
Yeah.
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 So as you come down, bit of a swagger, you can hear some of the conversation coming up. You hear a bit of a quiet conversation about equipment, about supplies, about food. And you do notice that when you get about halfway down the gangplank, conversation gets a little bit more vague. It goes from potatoes and cabbage to produce crates. Goes from shovels, picks to just supplies.
It's odd. I
Subtle, but it's there.
Yeah. I walk up to the group talking, and I stick my hand out to whoever looks like the person in charge or the lead man, and I say, "You must be new around here. I don't recognize you."
So that would be Zero.
0 it is.
You're walking around everyone else. He's not actually having the conversation. He is standing back a few feet, watching everyone else. And as you approach him, you stick your hand out. He doesn't return a hand. He looks down at your hand, back up at you, narrows his eyes. Who might you be?
The name's Ren. Came in with the boat. You probably saw me get off.
Well, Ren, are you just traveling through, or are you looking to stay?
We'll be staying for a night or two. The welcome at Haven is always nice for us.
I see. Well, there's always room. Gestures at the large 2-story building behind him. Stone, bit of a squarish U, the square in front of it. There's always room at the boarding house.
Of course there is. But I never got your name.
No, you didn't. Finally sticks his hand out. I'm Ciro.
Master Zero, pleasure, I'm sure. But, again, you must be new around here. How long have you been in Haven?
Looks back over at his men, over at you. I've been here long enough.
I'm not trying to pry at your secrets. If I wanted to find out how long you were been here from anyone other than you, I could ask anyone in the town. There's not many people here. Everybody knows everybody's business. You don't want to tell me how long you've been here? That's fine with me.
Oh,
I was just curious to see what an unfamiliar face might be doing. You don't see many of them in Haven.
so you've been here before?
Oh, all the time we come through. Trading up and down the river, you know how it is. Haven's last stop before the big branch off.
Well, seems you haven't been here for a little while then.
You know, life on the river. Be unpredictable.
Let's just say I have managed to find a place overseeing all of the folks who come and end up staying. So you think you're only staying a few days?
That's the plan.
Good.
It would be a problem if we were staying longer.
Oh, not at all. I'm just glad you're giving it enough time to let it sink in.
Well, pleasure to meet you. Do you know where the regular guard is? One of those bastards owes me a drink. I intend to collect while I'm here.
Which one?
This is something that Rez knows. So,
Ha, how does it feel to come up with names on your own immediately?
yeah. All right. So, I came up with Rez on the fly. I was pretty proud of that. Jamie. You might call him James.
Jamie.
Yeah. Big fella.
Ah,
Little James.
he's been spending a little bit more time over at the lodge.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
He nods and doesn't really take his eyes off of his men. Anything anyone else is doing? At this point, Shifra has walked away from the men. She's overseeing Farah and Janan as three of them are grabbing crates and hauling them up out of the hold and unloading them onto the dock. A few of the men are coming with them. Bit of a collective affair.
As I've come up on the deck, can I tell if Ciro has seen me?
So you definitely are attempting to stealth. So actually, no, you were just kind of.
I was thinking about it, but then decided that
Yeah.
that wasn't going to work. I'm trying to appear confident.
Okay. Let's see. I would say give me an insight check, actually.
My strength.
Because I don't know why I just rolled. It would really be your ability to notice.
That's the 10.
Okay. You haven't seen Ciro acknowledge your existence yet. He has
I don't
been...
know if I should be relieved or concerned.
Yeah, he's been watching his men. He was briefly entangled with Rez for a little bit, but he does not seem to be paying any mind to you for the time being.
You know what? Does it look like people are... Did he just let me come off the boat quickly as I pleased?
Yeah, yeah.
Seems mostly concerned with his men. All right, you know what? Rez doubles back, grabs a couple of sacks of potatoes from beneath, throws one to Derek, says, "Here, carry that." Says, "Follow me down. And here, carry my cloak, too." Throws his cloak over his head, so he's like really piled high, and it just looks like Rez is being an absolute jerk, you know? Like, here, take this.
What?
Come on, buddy. Make yourself useful. Step lively.
Okay.
Come on, little fella, I'll get you a drink. Little fella said to somebody about the same height as me?
Similar.
Yeah,
Slightly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thereabouts.
I think you both said like 5'6" or something like that.
Yeah.
Under the weight of the sack and just uncertainty of the situation, I'll just kind of stagger along after Rez.
Yeah. It's kind of like, holding the sack up here, right? Kind of through the thing on top of it, so you can probably see a little bit over the edge, but most of his face is covered. Come on. I'll get you a drink.
Okay.
Come on.
Seeing this and not knowing what the hell was going on, Waylon takes a few steps closer to David and Aster and just goes, should we help?
Rez turns around. We should get drinks. Come on, bring Pushka.
Yeah, let's go get drinks.
I motion Pushka, and he just kind of picks up an armload of sacks of potatoes and starts walking towards the gangplank. Waylon has one that he's struggling with over his shoulder.
All right. And what are you doing with all of this stuff that doesn't belong to you?
Oh, we were just putting it down by the end of the gangplank where you unload things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Helping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Making sure
right.
Derek has his back to them when I relieve him of his potato sack and kind of, slap him on the back and bundle him off, casual as anything.
All right. And from there, so you get down to the bottom, drop it all off. Where are you headed?
Away.
The tavern.
All right. So you know this, Rez. The boarding house is also the tavern.
Yeah.
Is also a number of things. It's a gigantic building that is kind of the center of the town. You all offload your items. I assume grab your own belongings, or are you leaving some of them in the... Are you leaving anything in the boat?
You know what? I turn to Derek. I say, I'll get your stuff. I'll be right back. You make your way with the others. I go back, get his things, get my things.
Yep,
Okay.
Waylon's stuff is just on Pushka. They
Okay.
weren't... They're traveling light.
I'm mostly curious about the locked box full of tons of
That
gold.
is his shoulder. That is Pushka's
Okay.
shoulder. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All
Not
right.
leaving that behind.
Yeah. So you make your way off, drop your things down. Rez, as you kind of help Derek put some of his stuff down, you turn and you go back. Derek, as you begin to walk over to the tavern / boarding house / whatever that building is, try to walk around Zero. And he just finds a way to get in your way. You end up bumping shoulders with him. Strong enough that it spins you around just a little bit. And Zero coughs a bit, reaches down to the ground, picks something up, dusts it off, puts it in your pocket. Think you lost this? Don't worry. You'll see me later. Pats you on the back and goes back to what he's doing.
And at a loss for words, Derek turns quickly and storms off. Does not check his pocket until he is out of sight of Zero.
Does that mean you do check your pocket, though?
Once I'm at the boarding house with everyone else, yes, I'll carefully check what it is that he slipped in.
As you reach into your pocket, you feel something cold, round, and you pull out a single coin. Normal coin.
Does it have any unusual markings or anything that would be...
No, it just looks like a normal gold piece.
Can I kind of inspect and see if there's anything at all unusual about it?
I'll tell you one thing, it doesn't need to be unusual. You just got a gift from Ciro. The Children of Ash is Jesse as Wayland Thrupp, Josh as Derek Henridge, Peter as David Davidson, Valentine as Rez Orr, Juliet as Aster Morestes, and myself, Dylan, as your storyteller. This episode features sound design by Tabletop Audio, 5e player options from Nations and Cannons by Flagbearer Games, and our intro and outro themes were composed and performed by Fester Spunk. If you aren't already, follow us on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, basically everywhere else at The Children of Ash for clips, outtakes, fun content, and more, and be the first to know about news and new releases. Also, come support us on Patreon or Ko-Fi. That's right, we now also have a Ko-Fi at ko-fi.com/thechildrenofash. Come on, buy us a coffee. Patrons get early access to episodes, a special title on the Discord server, and they help us pay for equipment and other things that provide you, the listener, with a better experience. They also get to feel good about supporting a tiny little outfit like ours. Don't feel like subscribing? You can also purchase early access to episodes as they come out, so you never have to wait any longer than anyone else. As always, thank you so much, and we'll see you down the run. Thank you all for a wonderful week, wonderful session, wonderful night. I'm sorry the first half of this ended up just being technical nonsense. Beep, beep.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's Brooklyn.
When I came back, Dylan seems gone.
Oh yeah, he was making a face like he really disapproved of your intro, then just rage quit.
Oh,
I
that's
think he's said something about quitting DMing.
all right. Max levels for everybody.
Oh, my other laptop just crashed. LOL.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. It gives me more time to think about moral reprehension.